Before we start today, I have to tell you about State Farm agent Brian McDevitt. A lot of our listeners have gone to him for all their insurance needs, and he's been very helpful in getting them the coverage they deserve. There's no games with Brian. He's just here to help and make sure you feel safe. So if you have insurance needs and you haven't called him yet, what are you waiting for? Dial up the number, 630-796-2662. That's 630-796-2662. Or find him online at ryanismyagent.com. That's ryanismyagent.com. And make sure to mention Sports Talk Chicago. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I want to start today with this. I was right. I had said days after the Bears drafted Justin Fields, be prepared for a quarterback controversy. Well, everybody was in rapture and so happy about the pick. And they threw Andy Dalton off to the side. I said, does anybody remember Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, and how the whole thing proliferated throughout the offseason and lasted during the regular season too? It got annoying, it got old, and yet we had to cover it and had to deal with it week in and week out. Who's going to start? Does Mitch deserve it? Does Nick deserve it? Should they put Mitch back in? What about Nick? Should Tyler Bray play? It got very annoying very quickly. I warned you. I said it. Wait to see what happens here. I said there will be a quarterback controversy. There will be an issue as to who starts game one. There will be factions. There will be divisiveness, and this won't be good for the Bears fan base and for the Bears. And sure enough, now everything's confirmed. A new report from Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, quote, now Fields is just undeniable. Over the next 3 to 4 months in training camp, we're not just going to sit him for fun or posterity just to play the veteran. So they're going to give him the best chance, but they're okay sitting Fields if Dalton has a good grasp on the job and they feel like they can win with him. So they believe they're going to be better regardless. It just depends on whether Fields is ready week 1. Headline of the article, Justin Fields rumors, Bears won't sit QB just for fun or posterity to play Dalton. Here we go. If you're a new Bears fan, if you're unaware of the team's quarterback situation over the past 50, 60, 70 years, welcome to Chicago. Glad you're here. Already, at the end of May, quarterback controversy. Last year, when Nick Foles came in, immediately, quarterback controversy. Bears fans are no strangers to this, but it gets redundant to talk about this year in and year out. Happening again. Many of you know where I stand on this whole thing. I firmly believe that Justin Fields will be better off sitting to start. No matter what. I want him to sit for at least 4 games. Because there is no sense of urgency. This isn't Jacksonville, New York, where those teams have no quarterbacks besides the guys they drafted. It's like San Francisco. They have Jimmy G. He'll play. Trey Lance will most likely sit all year. Fine. Let him develop. And I know it's different. Trey Lance didn't throw that many passes, didn't play a lot. The idea is still the same. The concept remains the same. It is not worth rushing a rookie quarterback. See, it's different now. See, before, you got away with it. And everybody was very quick to say, he's a bust, goodbye. Move on to the next year, next draft. See what you could do. Now, quarterbacks are a luxury item in the NFL. There's a lot of capital, money, draft picks, all put into this one position. Because today it's a quarterback-driven league, and everybody knows you can't win without a quarterback. You could be a great team. You could have a great defense, great run game, special teams, doesn't matter. This isn't 2003 anymore. You're not going to see a Super Bowl with Rich Gannon and Trent Dilfer. It's always going to be top quarterbacks. Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes. Bam. That's correct. That's a sign of the time for the NFL. So because they're more integral to a team now, teams are less willing to rush him, to give up on him, because it's a big investment and it's very serious. So we have to keep that in mind, first of all, when we talk about Fields and this entire situation. This is not 2003. This is 2021. And I see a lot of people basing their logic off the NFL from back then and not basing it off what the NFL is today and how important the quarterback position is today. That's the issue with this entire thing. It's a fallacy. I'll say it time and time again. I've had former GMs, broadcasters, players all say, let Fields develop. Don't start him week one. I know the fan base is hungry. I know they want to see success so quickly. They saw the draft and they thought, wow, instant success. No, you may have to wait a year. You heard in my interview with Tom Waddle later on, Nagy and Pace, they bought time with this pick. So they won't be fired at the end of this year. They have time. They've been given a new chance. They have a new quarterback. They will take time to develop him, however long that takes. So you can't sit here and expect everything's going to go well. Playoff team, watch out. Not yet. Now a word from our sponsor, True Classic Tees. Are you tired of boxy t-shirts that just won't get the job done? What about ones that feel too big and uncomfortable? I have that problem a lot. Thanks to True Classic Tees, though, those problems are over. See, I'm wearing one right now. Very comfortable, double-stitched for endurance, and custom-made to fit your dimensions. And get this, a portion of every sale goes towards helping homeless vets get off the streets. So you're helping out our veterans, and you're buying quality material at a good price. Listeners of this program get a discount too. Use John10, that's Jon10, to get 10% off your next purchase. Go to TrueClassicTees.com or find the link in the description of the video. True Classic Tees, top clothing and a good cause. More of what Fowler said, quote, this offseason, the Bears addressed their situation and said, look, we've been an 8-8 team. We just need an upgraded quarterback that could get us closer to 10 wins. They felt Andy Dalton did that. They said, hey, we could win 10 games with this guy. He's a slight upgrade at the position, but then they had the chance at Justin Fields. They said, okay, this is the long-term play. That's actually a correct statement and a correct evaluation by Nagy and Pace. Andy Dalton is a marginal upgrade to Mitch Trubisky. Justin Fields has the potential to easily outrank Dalton and Trubisky combined. The potential, key word. If he's rushed, if he's made broken, that's a problem. I know it's Matt Nagy's guy now, so I'm hoping no more sabotage, but that can't be ruled out either. Matt Nagy's a stubborn head coach. He is. And we saw it. He would never let Mitch just do what he wanted to do to win. It would always be conformed to my playbook. How do you think that's going to go down with Justin Fields? It's a quarterback-driven league. I just said that. That is 1980s football thinking. If you don't conform to me, you're out of here. No. Now it's, I'm a quarterback. If I don't like my coach, I'll demand a trade. I'll leave. I'll find another team. One that will give me creative freedom with the playbook. One that will cater to my strengths and pump up my stats and make me a hell of a player. It's different now. Way different. So my hope is that Matt Nagy can, come to terms with the times that are in the NFL. Even if Justin Fields, he's undeniable, I recommend then sit him one game or two. Just to be safe. And I know the main argument against that is, well, he learns on the fly. He'll learn better under center. But he could be broken too. If he has a couple of bad games to start his career, could be broken. Mentally, that'll take a toll. It's not good either. Now, he seems like a stronger kid. He could probably overcome that stuff, but you don't know. NFL, entirely different animal than college. We all know that too. How many quarterbacks have come up from college, highly touted, never worked out? Ryan Lee, Jamarcus Russell, Matt Leinart. We could go on and on all day. Jake Locker. I mean, too many to name. Because the NFL's pace of play is different. The talent is different. You're not facing the Big Ten all year or the SEC all year or Pac-12 all year. You're facing quality players from all across the country and the world in some cases. Way different. So I'm sorry if I'm not telling you what you want to hear. But I'm telling you what you should be hearing. The truth is, no need to rush him. Are the Bears quarterbacks strapped? No. They have Andy Dalton and Nick Foles, two established veterans. I'm not saying they're good, but they're established veterans. They have 10 times more snaps than Justin Fields has had in the NFL. And you could say and you could claim Justin Fields is doing great, winning in training camp, out-competing everybody. I'd say at least sit him for 2 games, then put him in. 2 games. That's it. And if they're winning, by the way, if they're winning with Andy Dalton, don't screw it up. I mentioned this before. That's a problem the Dolphins had last year. Put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. They're winning. Take him out, put in Tua. They're winning, playing 500. Take him out, put back in Fitzpatrick. Take him out, put back in Tua. And put in Fitzpatrick again. What kind of a mental toll does that take on both guys, but especially Tua, who's young? Very bad. Look at Mitch. I understand, not a talented quarterback, I get it. But mentally, that does take a toll on you. What if that happened to you at your job? Hey there, slugger, we're going to take you out and put in your backup. Go do mop-up duty. And a few weeks later, come back and say, actually, you were better the first time. I made a mistake. For those couple of weeks you're on the bench and you've been demoted, how do you think you're going to feel? Knowing deep down inside, I'm better. Mentally, it takes a toll. It really does. And I really don't want that to happen to Justin Fields. He's just coming up. He hasn't even tasted the NFL yet. He has no clue what he's getting into, really, from that standpoint. Don't ruin the guy. Come on, please. Really? Is this necessary? No. And remember, there is the possibility that Andy Dalton gets hurt in camp. Then Fields would play, probably. Right? Remember Tyrod Taylor and Justin Herbert this past year. So that could happen. There are a lot of different avenues and ways in which Fields will play. I do believe Fields will play at some point this year. That's a fact. No more sitting him out for a year. That opinion is already morphed into maybe 4 games at most, he'll say. And I'm okay with that. I really am. I just don't want him to be rushed. Jacksonville has nothing. Absolutely nothing. No backup, no options. They have to start Lawrence, who, by the way, has never played on a losing team or with so little talent around him. That's an issue. Zach Wilson, BYU, great quarterback. Now he's going to New York, known to be a quarterback breaker. And he'll start week 1. How do you think that's going to go? The Bears aren't in that position. This is a good thing. They don't have to start in week 1. They have the luxury of Andy Dalton. I know you're probably laughing. Oh, luxury of Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton isn't a luxury. He is in the sense when it comes to developing fields. Dalton is a luxury. Not every team could say, we have an established veteran quarterback. We'll play him first, then we'll put him fields. That makes him a luxury. That makes him a good thing. And the Bears have to remember that. You do too. This is all a positive for the Bears. I like this report in the sense that I do believe it's truthful. I really hope this could be a fair competition. We'll get into that more as the season progresses. I hope it'll be fair and honest. And there won't be any politics or favoritism or whatever it might be. It's a meritocracy. The NFL is a meritocracy. If you prove yourself, if you have enough talent, if you show you have more merit than the guy next to you, you should play. That's it. We saw last year, it wasn't always all about merit on both sides, Mitch and Nick. The way that whole thing was handled was just a colossal mistake. I don't want to see that again. Bears fans, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear when it comes to this. I firmly believe things will go better this time around. That said, I'll tell you this much. Be patient. Be patient. If Justin Fields is that good, have him play. I'd prefer him sit at least 2 games. That's it. But if he shows that he's great, play him and see what happens. My whole point is the Bears don't need to be in that position. They're not desperate. They are desperate in the long haul, but not in the short term. They're not desperate. They have somebody who they could play and serve as a good stopgap. Different than New York or Jacksonville. That's a positive. That's the whole point here. No need to rush him. And I don't think they will. Let him develop on his own. And if he shows a good grasp of everything, let him play. Fine. I could support that. What I can't support is rushing him in, breaking him, taking him back out to put in Dalton again, and then in 2 years' time having Fields being called a bust. Sound familiar? And I know Mitch didn't have as much talent, but the story is similar. That cannot happen. Not again. Happened already once. I've seen enough. Haven't you? Haven't you seen enough of that? I know I have. The Bears have an opportunity to play this correctly. They have the luxury of 2 veteran quarterbacks and a rookie. They have a chance to develop him correctly, give him the time he needs, be patient with him, and make sure that he works. Because remember, this is a different NFL. The quarterback position is so highly coveted. This is not a Super Bowl of Rich Gannon and Trent Dilfer. This is a Super Bowl of Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Only the superstars make it. So the quarterback position is integral. And if you screw it up again, you'll be a bottom feeder for a long time. More to come here on Sports Talk Chicago. My interview with Tom Waddle comes up next, so stay tuned. Hey, do you want to make some money this weekend? What if I told you I could offer you $250 free to bet on any game you want? Here's what you have to do. Go to sportstalkchicago.com/cash. SportsTalkChicago.com/cash. Must be 21 plus, must be an Illinois resident. You get about $250 free on any game you want for this upcoming weekend. Cubs and White Sox are back. NBA playoffs going strong, same with the NHL. Plus, of course, Bears prop bets. This is, without question, the best time to put down some money and win a whole lot more back. That's SportsTalkChicago.com/cash. SportsTalkChicago.com/cash. You have a gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.